Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now it's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Again, running right, it's high. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson finding fouls complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Texans push further out in front.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll run high, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
24.
To throw is Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans push further out in front.
Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
They can't hang with us.
To throw, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. Johnson, the intended target.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 36-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, defense.
From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Watson. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the 1st quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Right there, 54, right there, right before Mike.
3rd and long, it's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
It's a gain of 38 yards. And the Texans 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
From Viking territory. Now they'll come up 1st and 10, all the way down at the 21-yard line. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm coming for you. You mine.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They turn to the fullback, Gillespie, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Third and long for Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
At the Vikings' 36-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Hey, Mr. Ted! 54, Mike 54. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run.
First down, a run with Hyde. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Hyde looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Running from the gun, Johnson. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Get ready. Get ready.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Cousins now to throw on first down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Again, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 42.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Gets his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
That'll be complete to Cook. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
All day, baby, all day.
Play action now. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Cousins again. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Bailey's kick is good.
Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Again, it's Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make...
They'll try to fire up the running game with Hyde. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Get him, boy.
and there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
At the 13-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Stop your whining.
A 10th carry for Hyde. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Right. Set. 54 Mike.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
19. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Watch the out. Watch the out.
Hyde. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Carlos Hyde, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more.
Makes the score Texans 34, Vikings 3.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing, Cousins. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 33-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
54 is down. He's coming. Check. 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 Line him, go.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Push him back. Check 31. Check 31.
They go to Johnson again. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college. So sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Another tote for the afternoon workhorse. It's Hyde. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Texans on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. A give to Hyde out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets off a high spiraling kick. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Hyde. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Carry number 20 here for Hyde. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team once more. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Throwing is Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run on first down. Hyde, and he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
They run it again with Hyde. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Mike 54. Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
On first down, Hyde try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, Hyde. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
You don't know no better.
Third down, Carlos Hyde. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone, and the football will come out to the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Check 41.
Hey, and they'll indeed take a knee.
A loss of a yard on the play, and it's 3rd down.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.